Theft is wrong, morally. It's one of the basic tenets of being a good person. Don't take things that don't belong to you. It's also disturbingly common. While some theft is petty, like shoplifting a fancy lipstick, and some is for survival, like stealing food, a lot of it is just bad people taking instead of earning. That said, it's still sometimes really impressive, both the ability to steal large objects and the determination of those who dare to. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 biggest things ever stolen. Like my heart.
25.
The world's largest egg hat. The world's largest egg hat, containing over 1,000 eggs, yes, it's a thing, was stolen in Germany while its owner, one Greg de Silva, was there on holiday. Mr. de Silva ended up in the hospital for heat stroke, and when he went back to retrieve his hat after being released, it was gone. It's a shame though. It was truly an extraordinary headpiece.
24.
Inflatable Kong. In early 2017, a large inflatable Kong, holding a car above his head, was stolen from a Texas car dealership. The thing was 12 feet tall and cost around 10 grand. First of all, why? Second of all, giant inflatable things cost how much?
23.
World War II Mustang fighter plane. In 1992, an Israeli Air Force reservist named Major Ishmael Yitzhaki told a museum that their World War II Mustang fighter plane needed a new coat of paint. Being the trusting sort, the museum said, "Sure, that sounds great." And Yitzhaki wheeled it out of the museum, flew the World War II fighter plane to Sweden, where he sold it for over $300,000.
22.
Bathroom condom machine. In 1994, a man in Waterford, Michigan stole an entire condom machine from the bathroom in a pub. He literally just carried it out of the pub, which, considering the size of those things, is both awkward and impressive.
21.
Buddhist monastery bell ball. In 2005, the ball from the inside of a Buddhist monastery bell was stolen in Washington state. The thieves were caught trying to sell the 3,000-pound piece for scrap metal.
20.
90,000 pounds of manhole covers. In 1990, a man in LA stole 300 manhole covers. The covers weigh up to 300 pounds each, and he was selling them for scrap around $6 each. Let's see, 300 times 300 is 90,000 pounds of manhole covers for potentially $1,800 in profit. That seems like a difficult way to go about things.
19.
A T-Rex. Specifically, Sue, the largest and most intact T-Rex ever found. In 1990, a group of workers from the Black Hills Institute in South Dakota found Sue. It's important to note that before she was completely removed from the ground, the Black Hills Institute paid $5,000 for Sue and the permission to remove her. Other dinosaurs and fossils had been removed from the area beforehand with no argument. This was fine and dandy until Maurice Williams, the man who lived on the Indian reservation Sue was taken from, realized how valuable Sue was and stole her back via the government. They literally showed up with warrants and took her, but the judge said they couldn't take her because he ruled she was land, not a personal property of Williams. She was then returned to Williams, who sold her for many millions of dollars. It's still stealing if the government does it, as laws don't determine morality. You can find more out about Sue's story in the documentary Dinosaur 13. She's now on display in the Field Museum in Chicago, despite being discovered and lovingly taken out of the earth by the Black Hills Institute.
18.
A stone bridge dating back to the Qing Dynasty. A stone bridge dating back to the Qing Dynasty was stolen in Shanghai overnight and sold to a garden company in 2012. The bridge was over 100 years old, had been listed as a protected cultural relic in 2008, and was, again, made of stone.
17.
A huge chunk of a beach. Part of a beach, several hundred tons of it, was stolen in Jamaica in 2008. About 500 truckloads worth of sand was stolen from Coral Spring Beach, and police have no idea who took it.
16.
Luxury yachts, Alter Ego and Zula. In July of 2016, two luxury yachts worth over $4 million were stolen from a marina in Dubai. The yachts, named Alter Ego and Zula, were used for tourists and day trips, and weren't reported stolen until a week after they disappeared. They're now believed to be in the Philippines, though they're also believed to sometimes be used for drug trafficking in various parts of the world.
15.
Construction equipment. Construction equipment, as in loaders, tractors, backhoes, and forklifts, get stolen with alarming regularity, to the point that there's a website, stolenheavyequipment.com, dedicated to listing and attempting to recover stolen heavy equipment.
14.
Local governments infringe on privately owned property for sidewalks, roads, and utilities with alarming regularity, and there's honestly not a blessed thing any of us plebeians can do about it. It's called eminent domain, and what it boils down to is this: if the government wants your stuff, you can't keep it.
13.
800-year-old Red Cedar Tree. Clever thieves managed to steal an 800-year-old red cedar tree that was one of the largest in the Vancouver Island area in 2012. What made it so clever? First, they cut through most of the tree so that park officials would deem it unsafe to remain standing. Once the tree went down, the plan, by the park, was to let it decompose naturally in the forest. It was then that the thieves came back and stole the tree, the wood of which was worth thousands of dollars. Clever. Horrific and depressing and pretty darn evil, but clever.
12.
A solar-powered apothecary. In 2016, a couple in Calgary had their solar-powered apothecary stolen. The couple foraged all over British Columbia for plants that could be used for skin products, and then created those products in their solar-powered plant-based lab on wheels. Thankfully, Boreal Folk Apothecary had their goods recovered and returned.
11.
M60 Tank. A man who had nothing to lose stole an M60 tank from the California Army National Guard Armory in May of 1995. He ran over everything he could at the tank's max speed of 30 miles an hour for 23 minutes until the police surrounded him, and sadly, he was shot.
10.
Cattle and sheep. In June of 2015, 75 head of cattle and 25 sheep were stolen from an Irish farm. Not only is that impressive and weird, it's also costly. They were taken from a small farm where many of the animals had been born and raised. Small family farms generally can't handle a financial hit like that. It was the biggest single theft of livestock ever in the Republic of Ireland. How do you not notice somebody taking 75 cows?
9.
Cast iron building facade. In June of 1974, a 126-year-old cast iron building facade weighing around 4 tons was stolen in New York. It had been disassembled for preservation, and the theft was only discovered because the thieves were caught trying to take the last piece. The pieces were from the Buddhist building, which stood in what is now Tribeca. Sadly, the building and the intersection in which it stood are no longer there.
8.
An entire Orthodox church. An entire Orthodox church was stolen in Russia in 2008. Apparently, locals from a nearby village dismantled the abandoned church brick by brick and sold the bricks to businessmen. One day, a priest showed up, and the church wasn't there. Words like grave sin and blasphemy were thrown around.
7.
Ronald McDonald statue. A 250-pound life-size Ronald McDonald statue, complete with bench, was stolen from a McDonald's in New Jersey in late April 2017. The biggest question here isn't how or why, but rather, life-size Ronald McDonald? So, the same size as the Ronald McDonald clown is in real life?
6.
$100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and jewelry. The largest amount of diamonds, gold, and jewelry ever stolen was arguably the Antwerp diamond heist. The thieves hit the heart of Belgium's diamond district, stealing over $100 million worth of stuff, bypassing some of the most high-tech alarms in the world and opening over 100 safe deposit boxes to do so.
5.
Another dinosaur. Yeah, a man from Gainesville, Florida, yay, named Eric Procopi forged papers to take a skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus bataar, close to the T-Rex, out of Mongolia and sell it to a buyer in Manhattan for over $1 million. The heist was stopped by the FBI in Queens.
Woo! Gainesville!
We do stuff.
4.
Dorothy's ruby slippers. Okay, maybe these aren't the largest objects physically ever stolen, but culturally, it's a big deal. In 2005, the slippers worn by Judy Garland in the iconic film The Wizard of Oz, valued at around $3 million US, were stolen in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
3,
A fully loaded oil tanker. Actually, 3 of them, within the span of a year and a half, all stolen by Somali pirates. They were under the watch of the Nigerian Navy, which leads many to believe that perhaps the Nigerian Navy was in on the heist, which stinks if you're in any part of the Nigerian Navy, because at this point, your organization is either hopelessly corrupt or hopelessly inept.
2,
200-ton bridge. In January of 2008, thieves in Russia stole a 200-ton bridge overnight, presumably to sell for scrap metal. That's just impressive. Huh.
1,
The Empire State Building. Sort of. Well, on paper. In 2008, the New York Daily News, in an effort to show what a joke the city's record-keeping department was, drew up fake documents with a fake notary stamp and submitted them to the city to transfer the deed to the building. The point they made? Those oh-so-important government documents that are so costly to file weren't required to be verified by the Office of the City Register.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the bottom right so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 3 videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.